Testify. Survival is not living. Stability is not justice. Pulse, bear, life is trying to happen. We are compost. We are fertilization for the next generation. Dare to be different, to speak, to witness, to stand. Lift every voice and sing out. How many broken, bruised bodies, hearts, minds, spirits will it take to understand we are all human, to break a cycle, to make what is unnatural despicable, to make what is natural life? Respect for Black life is not a priority. Without accountability, we dangle. We collect memories and lives. The collective memory is designed. We are the redesigners, the reimaginers. We are the ones. There is no one else but you and your triumph, your secret fertilization for life. Lift every voice and sing out. Everything is life. All living things are everything. When we break, bruise hearts, bodies, minds, spirits, we break and bruise everything. All living things, we break and bruise ourselves. What is yours? We need it, not to make money from it, but to give life. Can you give life with your talent, your beasting, your beaming, your honesty, your dignity, your accountability? Can you check yourself over our wine and our fine times? We are the ones who say something, who act, who acknowledge, kiss me and I will faint, because we are surprised by that kind of honesty. Your vulnerability is on the keychain, on the tree that doesn't know whether it will blossom or burn. How many colors will it take to equal human? How many categories will we need to understand humanity, to explain our difference? It will take as much time to make natural our sameness. It will take just as much pain to believe we bleed the same. It will take just as much life to trust. Is it the anger that terrifies us all? Piled up bodies, does it matter if we pile them up by the 5 or by the thousands? After the smoke cleared, it was a silence. There was a stillness in the air. We knew people were dead. It was the creepiest thing that any little girl or adult should have to go through. I still have fear of crowds because of what happened that day. We didn't have a clue what we would see the next day. It was like the children didn't matter to the city of Greensboro. They knew we were there, but they didn't seem to care. Nobody came back from the city to question about what we were feeling, what our feelings were after the killings. Nobody but the church could tell us anything to make it better, and preachers could only tell us to hold on to our faith. God would make it better. God would handle it. The schools didn't do anything to support us. Nobody seemed to care how we were affected. We had to go to school the following Monday. We were expected to function and be focused, and some of us couldn't. There were rumors that the Klan was going to blow up the gas line running through Morningside homes, so we were afraid to sleep at night. After November 3rd, the police treated us like we had committed a crime, like we had killed the communist workers on November the 3rd. We were put on curfew. There were helicopters. There were tons of police. We were in a war zone. We were treated like prisoners in our own community. The police threatened to put us in jail if we broke curfew. While city officials managed to prevent further physical violence in the aftermath of November 3rd, 1979, they did nothing to strengthen trust or race relations. In fact, their focus on the city's image, as opposed to concern for the most vulnerable in the city, created more disturbance. Bombs bursting in air, bombs bursting in air, bombs bursting in air. Ring with the harmonies of liberty for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Find your black, then maybe we can love you back. Find your black, then maybe we can love you back. Find your black, then maybe we can love can love you back.
Find your black, then maybe we can love you back. Find your black, then maybe we can love you back. Find your black, then maybe we can love you back. Find your black, then maybe we can love you back. Find your black, then maybe we can love you back. Find your black, then maybe we can love you back.
I want to bring in DeRay McKesson. He's a community activist who we first met in Ferguson, Missouri. He's now in Baltimore as part of a peaceful protest. DeRay, thanks very much for joining us. What's your plan today? What's your mission in Baltimore?
You know, we're here supporting the protesters on the ground and continuing the movement. You know, there's been a lot of positive demonstrations over the past couple months here in Baltimore and across the country because the police have continued to kill people. And tonight will be another night where people come out into the streets to confront a system that is corrupt.
But you want peaceful protest, right?
Yes, for sure. Yep. And remember, the people that have been violent since August have been the police. We think about the 300 people that have been killed this year alone, like that is violence. There's been property damage here that's been really unfortunate over the past for a day or so here. But remember, there have been many days of peaceful protest here in Baltimore City and in places all around the country.
But at least 15 police officers have been hurt, 200 arrests, 144 vehicle fires. These are statistics. Local police have put out 15 structure fires. There's no excuse for that kind of violence, right?
Yeah, and there's no excuse for the 7 people that the Baltimore City Police Department has killed in the past year either, right?
We're not making comparisons. Obviously, we don't want anybody hurt, but I just want to hear you say that there should be peaceful protests, not violent protests, in the tradition of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, there should be peaceful protests, and I don't have to condone it to understand it, right? That the pain that people feel is real, and you are making a comparison. You are suggesting this idea that broken windows are worse than broken spines, right? And what we know to be true is that the police are killing people everywhere. They're killing people here. 6 police officers were involved in the killing of Freddie Gray, and we're looking for justice there. And that's real, right? That, the violence that the police have been inflicting on communities of color has been sustained and deep.
But you agree, I assume, with President Obama, who just said a few moments ago, there's no excuse for the violence that erupted yesterday. There's no excuse for the stealing, no excuse for the arson. You agree with the president?
What I agree with is that I advocate people to peacefully protest. I also know that pain manifests in different ways, and I don't have to condone it to understand it. People are grieving and people are mourning. And I would advocate personally for people to do it in ways that you are calling peacefully. But again, I also know that Freddie Gray will never be back and that those windows will be.
And the president also said, President Obama, he said the violence, he said, distracted from the peaceful protests and distracted from the mourning that the family of Freddie Gray was seeking yesterday. Your reaction to that?
You know, we're distracted from progress is when city officials get on TV and call black people in pain thugs, right? That's a distraction. So, you know, I think that the unrest, the uprising, whatever you call it, is again a cry for justice here and a cry for justice across the country because the police continue to terrorize people. And again, the terrorizing is actually deadly. Broken windows are not broken spines. People are in pain. So I think that the president, I hope that he understands the conditions that created the unrest and that continue the unrest, not only here in Baltimore, but across the country, because Freddie Gray will never see another day, and neither will Tamir or Ayanna or Mike Brown.
DeRay McKesson is a community organizer. He's in Baltimore right now, was in Ferguson. DeRay, thanks very much for joining us.